Shall we try this again? Right, here goes. Welcome to another match preview where we look ahead to one of our Essex trips for the season, and the Stones try again to have their first Monday night football of the season. It's on the road at Aveley. So the comings and goings from Aveley since last we were scheduled to play. Ikechi Eze left the club last week after 41 appearances in the last 12 months. His most memorable goal, a free kick in a 2-1 win over St Albans last season. Joel Thompson signed on loan from Colchester United. He can play in both defence and midfield and has been in Nottingham Forest's youth academy in the past. Alex Giles is on loan from Gillingham, having previously been on loan at Chatham Town. Imran Uche joined the Millers last month and he has South experience with both Eastbourne and Hampton and Richmond. So they're trying to shore up the defensive line there, Joe, but it could be a risk relying on you sometimes.
Yeah, well, as we know from our own experience, we've had youthful players come into the side. Smith, of course, over the last year has been a success. I think everyone would agree. Yeah. But that's in a succeeding side. I think Maidstone succeeded last season. I think we played quite well this season. And when he's featured, he's performed well as well. But when you put younger players into a slightly more high pressure situation, when you're kind of fighting down the bottom, who knows what the results might be.
Yeah. So the form for the Millers since last we were meant to play, not including the Friday night Welling game, of course, but they've played 6 league games before that, losing 4 and winning 2. Contrasting home games, it has to be said. 1-0 against Boreham Wood, and that aforementioned in other previews, massive 6-3 match win against St Albans, a big 6-pointer. So some ideal results possibly leading into the clash with the Stones, and could well aid their great escape there, Joe, couldn't it?
Yeah, well, obviously when you're down the bottom you want to be picking up points from the teams who are around you. It's a fantastic result for them against St Albans with a big goal scoring result. You know, it may set them on the way to picking up some more points, but I think the Stones will still remain confident considering Aveley's league position so far.
And the Stones away form, of course, in the league,
exactly.
Still unbeaten. So
very, very good. One of 2 teams. Not
yes, bad. Yep. Liverpool and Maidstone, keep mentioning it, crowbarring it whenever he can. Over 160 teams in the top 6 divisions in England. Still the only 2 unbeaten in the league at time of recording. So the key men so far this season for Aveley, Kerry Blodorn has the only clean sheet between the goalkeeping fraternity, again at time of recording. And Razak Common de Graaf doubled his tally for the season with a hat-trick in that 6-3 home win against St Albans last Monday. David Kawa went from 3 to 5 goals in the same game. So those 2 clearly will be the danger men come Monday if they haven't added to that tally against Welling on Friday as well, Joe, perhaps.
Yes, that's it. And of course, you know, when you see players who we know have potential like Razak starting to pick up the goals, you do wonder where the limit is for someone like that. Obviously, we knew his potential. Unfortunately, he couldn't quite find his feet with the Stones, but he seems to be hitting a little bit of a purple patch at Aveley at the moment, so we'll have to be quite sure at the back to keep him out.
Wise men say only fools rush in. That's right, some more transfer news to bring in. Matt Rush, if you couldn't have guessed from that little ditty, he signed on for the Stones once more. He left us in the summer for Sutton United, but he hasn't had much game time there, so he's decided to come back where he's probably going to get a bit more action, frankly. 15 goals for the Stones last season, only bettered by Levi. So Joe, we did try to keep him in the summer, but good to get him back on board in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you know, it's a big loss in the summer. Maidstone have struggled with the goals. Big part of this season, and you want to try and bring back the goals to the team, bring back the ones who are scoring them, and Matt Rush is definitely one of those people for this side.
Now, we haven't gone through everything and everyone all at once here, and that's so you can head back to our initial preview video from a few weeks ago, and the podcast as well, of course, from back in October. You get more information on Monday's opponents there. The links to the video and podcast are in the description below. Can't make it to the game on Monday night, be sure to tune in to myself and the hopefully equally travelled and rested Nigel Seeger from 7:30 on Stones Live. You'll see us on the hot take and then hear us on the highlights once they go online. Well, they say the second time is a charm, and if anyone is thinking of doing any overnight works in the Dartford Tunnel, then don't. Sorry. Here's hoping we can keep that unbeaten league away run going. Our thanks as always, to you for watching or listening to the latest preview. Like and subscribe on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts, just search for the Maidstone United podcast. See or hear you for our next preview ahead of the long trip down to Truro. And as always, come on you Stones.